What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Man City, in the Manchester derby, guys. It was, of course, at Old Trafford, guys. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. So we made 4 changes from last game against West Ham. Talking about the starting 11, so we started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Greenwood, Fernandes, Pogba and Rashford. Get into the overall reaction now. Board draw. Manchester derby ends in stalemate. United failed to send out title message in drab draw. City were there for the taking. They definitely were. Both teams didn't want to lose. We just needed more creativity in the midfield. Tactically, we did very well. The defending was spot on. Disappointing not to win. It's not too bad in the end, I guess, with the game in hand. Both teams played for the draw. Good performance in the end. Manchester is, of course, still red. It is what it is. We move on. Clean sheet done. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video, guys. What did I make of the performance? Obviously, there's been a bit of back and forth going on about our performance last night. People are disappointed that we didn't win that last night. Some people think it's, I guess, at the end of the day, it was an okay draw. But, you know, there's been a bit of back and forward, and obviously some people have been unhappy with the performance, which I have to agree on as well myself. And obviously, it's disappointing not to win in the Manchester derby. People thought coming into this game, obviously with other fans being neutrals and stuff like that, they were probably expecting a better Manchester derby with goals in it. But I think with the way how United have been playing recently, obviously with the exit of the Champions League, obviously we're still a little bit inconsistent here and there. At the end of the day, I think both teams were coming into this game playing for the draw. We could probably see it. It was written in the stars at the end of the day. And it was one of those games where both teams didn't want to lose this game. Both teams defended really well. For us, it would have been nice to win this game because obviously we're at home, we're at Old Trafford. At the same time, for Man City, the pressure was off them a little bit going away from home. And I think that's a good point for Man City. Whereas for us, is it a good point? I'll get into that later into this video as well. I think the performance overall was disappointing not to win it. And obviously it's a disappointing result at the end of the day in a Manchester derby, in a big game like this as well. And I understand people's frustration as well. I'm a little bit frustrated that we didn't win because I thought City were there for the taking. I honestly thought they were there for the taking. I thought with United's quality, and if we would have brought on those substitutions probably at the right time, it could have been a 1-0 win for United, and I could see it. It was one of those games where in that game it was going to be all down to that one piece of quality, that individual quality out there. And it was also the fact that both teams didn't put a foot wrong. Both teams were just too cautious. I thought United were too cautious as well. Cautious. Don't want to make a mistake. And then we were just sort of playing for the draw. I think as United fans, I think we're disappointed not to get the win because we're at home. And obviously this form at home needs to improve as well because we've got some tough games coming up. We've got Leeds United next at home as well. And we have to perform for that as well. Disappointed not to win this one in the Manchester derby. I thought we'd come away in this game against Man City with a win. I thought we were going to be good enough. I thought City not having the greatest season themselves. I thought the set out was really good. I thought we went with the 4-4-2 diamond. I thought that worked really well. It was just a lack of quality. It was the lack of that individual brilliance that we just didn't see. The lack of creativity in midfield as well. I think tactically we did very well. The defending was absolutely spot on. Disappointing not to get the win. I know it sounds funny, but it doesn't really sound too bad in the end if you think about it, because obviously with the game in hand, still 3 points up for grabs there against Burnley. I guess it's not too bad in the end, but obviously we're still disappointed that we didn't get the win. People don't want to talk about it. I understand that. I understand people's frustration. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and we move on at the end of the day. But it's a good clean sheet at the end of the day. We have to improve, definitely, for sure. Getting into the first half now, I thought first half was... I thought it was a good first half. I thought United, started very well. We play with energy. We managed to get on the front foot a little bit. Didn't really create much though in the game. I thought we managed to get the ball up high up the pitch really well, but I think Rashford and Greenwood, got a lack of service, and it made it difficult for them to, especially. And I think it was a frustrating night for the two forwards. And then I think, obviously, then when they got the ball, we defended really well defensively as a unit. I said that we had to be a unit at the back. We kept it tight at the back. We didn't make a mistake. I thought Shaw had a brilliant game and kept Mahrez in his pocket. Wan-Bissaka had Sterling in his pocket, so it would, it was all going to plan. But then it was just all about that individual brilliance in the midfield, really, and we didn't see that in the game. And we just needed more creativity in the midfield. And I think if Donny would have come on, he would have definitely changed the game. Tactically, we did really well, but we were set out really well. Going with the diamond, it was probably the right formation. But then I think when you're sort of thinking with probably 15 minutes to go, you would go attacking and bring on the likes of, Donny van der Beek and Martial as well. And he only made one sub, so obviously he wanted to keep the same formation because obviously he thought it was going very well. But Ollie should have used his brain and should have gone with, if we want to win this game and be more ruthless, we want to go attacking. Let's chuck Donny on, and he didn't decide to do that. Didn't take any risks when you should do, really, because he was just playing for the draw. And first half, not much going on at the end of the day, but both teams defended really well. We stayed compact as a team. Second half, I thought we were not too bad, I guess. Once again, just a lack of creativity in the midfield. And obviously, Rashford had that penalty which got overruled by VAR. Obviously, it was also in games like this, it was always going to go down to set pieces. I thought Bruno's corners were good. There was a few good moments in the game here and there where McTominay should have scored on a corner, maybe Maguire as well. So, again, we had these shots on target and we didn't put them on target, and a lack of creativity showed it as well in the stats, and just not good enough in the end, I thought. And I think as it's in Manchester derby, we all thought there'd be goals in this, but unfortunately it's a draw, and probably a fair result in the end, and a draw it is at the end of the day. We can't do anything about it, but we had a few good moments in the game that we didn't take them, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We move on at the end of the day. Disappointing not to win the game yesterday against Man City, and the performance was alright, I guess, in the end. But United were just too cautious. Was that down to because we didn't want to make a mistake, or was that down to not showing enough ambition? I think it was just down to because we were too cautious in the game and we didn't want to make a mistake in that game. Once again, I think we sort of lacked in that fight in the game as well as the game was progressing. I think it was sort of getting a little bit frustrating as well. And I thought we sort of too cautious and we just didn't want to make a mistake and we didn't want to put a foot wrong. Again, like I just said then, it was always going to come down to that individual brilliance, that quality that had come out of nowhere. At the end of the day, City had a good couple of chances as well that they didn't take. A few good saves by De Gea, and obviously Maguire did a job as well. I think it was just down to we were too cautious. We were too cautious. We didn't want to make a mistake. Obviously the ambition wasn't there in the game. We gave it a go, but it's not the result we wanted. But Manchester derby, we probably expected a bit more than that, obviously, but we were just too cautious. Obviously there was just not enough ambition shown in the team, not enough fight, passion, pride. It's just down to because we were just too cautious in the end, and we just didn't want to put a foot wrong. And if we put a foot wrong, it's like we go 1-0 down and we're in trouble, really, because obviously we've been going 1-0 down inside the first half, and we didn't want to put a foot wrong. And if we put a foot wrong, it's like it's damage limitation at the end of the day, and you're kicking yourselves. I think it was down to we were just too cautious and we just didn't want to make a mistake. But also at the end of the day, we didn't really show enough ambition in the game to go and win the game. I think City were there for the taking. City were not really going for the win as well. They were just settling for the draw, but they knew it was going to be a good result for them if they get a draw out of that. Obviously it's not a good, when you reflect on that performance last night, it's not good result. Not a good performance, but I guess it was an alright performance. It's just not the best performance in a Manchester derby. But we're just too cautious last night and we didn't get on the front foot enough. Rashford and Martial didn't get the service. Lack of creativity in the midfield as well. I think it was just down to we were too cautious. Didn't want to put a mistake wrong. Didn't want to put a foot wrong. But at the same time, there was just a lack of ambition from the team. to not go and win the game. I think you sort of need to be a little bit more ruthless and a little bit more stuck in, take risks at the end of the day, and we didn't do that because we were settling for the draw. But we were too cautious last night and we were not going attacking and we were just playing for the draw, which is disappointing. Moving forward, and obviously there's always speculation about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if he's the right man for the job. But is he the right man to take Man United forward? Of course he is. I mean, at the end of the day, why have we appointed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the end of the day? We've appointed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Solskjaer knew this was a rebuilding process and he's brought in his players and he's done that. The board has backed him after what happened with the Champions League. Everyone's going Ole out because of all the negativity. Let's put it straight. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was an Englishman, he wouldn't be sacked right now. Obviously he's Norwegian, as we know, and obviously he's Norwegian. He's not going to get the sack, is he? You've got somebody upstairs that doesn't know anything about football. He's not going to get sacked. So we can put that to bed first. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was an Englishman, he would be sacked right now. Let's get our facts straight at the end of the day. Is he the right man to take Man United forward? I think he is. And I think for Man United this season, we've got to be thinking about top four again. And I think Ole Solskjaer will be thinking, I need to get my hands on a trophy this season as well, and he has to as well. He's got 3 options to get a trophy: FA Cup, Carabao Cup, or the Europa League. And I think to win the Europa League for a way of getting back into the Champions League, obviously last season we were contenders to win that last year. We got to the semi-final, fell short. Is this Man United's time in the Europa League? But we shouldn't be in Europa League. We should not be playing on Thursday night football. Definitely Solskjaer is the right man to take United forward. It's time. At the end of the day, he's still playing players like McTominay. And McTominay's a player that keeps playing it sideways and backwards, doesn't get the ball forward. Still a couple of players that he needs to get out, get some money from them and go away. He knows that we need to sort out the centre-back partnership and then hopefully get a proper right winger. And we're probably not going to get Sancho. We're probably going to be going for this Amad Traore, who's coming in January. Let's put the speculation to bed. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was an Englishman, he would be sacked. And he's not sacked because he's Norwegian at the end of the day. Solskjaer is the right man for the job. He's just got to win some silverware this season and get back into top 4. It's annoying, frustrating, but top 4 is the priority this season as well, obviously, to get back into Champions League as well. Is it 2 points dropped and a fair result? I think if you look at the game overall, I think both teams coming into this game, we're playing for the draw. Obviously for us, it does feel 2 points dropped because we're at home. It's a missed opportunity. It was probably a fair result in the end. Obviously, let's not reflect on the performance and the result, but I think it was a fair result in the end. Is it 2 points dropped? Probably is, because we're at home, but it's annoying. But I guess it's not too bad in the end with the game in hand. I think it's a missed opportunity because you've got the likes of Chelsea dropping points and Tottenham dropping points. And if we would have capitalised last night against Man City, got a sneaky 1-0 win, we could be in the mix for the title this season. But I still think we can do that if we win that game in hand at the end of the day. Who is my man of the match? My man of the match has to be some very good players. I thought Wan-Bissaka played well, I thought De Gea played well, Maguire played well, Shaw played well, Fred played well. I think I have to give this 3 players. I thought Maguire was fantastic and he deserves my man of the match. Shaw did fantastically well to keep Myers in his pocket, and Fred had another blinding game as well. All 3 of them are my man of the matches at the end of the day. They were all brilliant in that game last night. How do we beat Sheffield United? Now, obviously, Sheffield United this season is suffering with second season syndrome. How do we beat Sheffield? Sheffield, great side. We've got some great players. The quality is there for Sheffield. It's just a shame what they're going through this season. You know, they're suffering with second syndrome season. They're obviously in the relegation zone. They're in relegation form. Can they pick themselves up in this game against Man United? They can do, but obviously there's more pressure on Sheffield at home to go and get a result. United, on the other hand, are unbeaten away so far this season, so I think it's more on what Sheffield do in this game. More pressure on Sheffield, obviously more pressure is mounting on Chris Wilder as well. But how do we beat Sheffield United? Obviously we're beating Sheffield last season 3-0. I thought we did that in great fashion, great win. But how do you beat the Sheffield side? They can be easily broken down at the end of the day. I watched that Sheffield-Chelsea game. They sort of found themselves a bit of confidence, a bit of belief and a bit of momentum and rhythm in their play. But what it is nothing's clicking for them at the minute. They're sort of reverting back to how they were used to playing with last season. But Chris Wilder's trying to sort of exploit with his different formations, and I think this season he just doesn't know his best formation. He doesn't know his best starting a lineup. That's why he's just changing it up week in and week out, because he just doesn't know his best 11 at the end of the day. I think with Dean Henderson now, not with Sheffield United, it just gives them no confidence whatsoever. They've got some clown as a goalkeeper in net, Ramsdale. I still don't even think he's a quality keeper. Still making mistakes as a goalkeeper, and they're not going to get better. Obviously, they're going to blame it down to the defence, but when you've got a clown in between the sticks, you're not going to get anywhere. But obviously, they like to revert to the three at the back. Obviously, they just went and lost to Southampton 3-0, so coming into this one, they'll be low on confidence. I don't think we'll be on high confidence, but I think with us going away from home, we'll be confident as well going into this one. And I think with Sheffield, they'll try to give it something. They know it's Man United. They'll try and have a bit of little fight in that game, and they'll try and get themselves into the game a little bit. But the question is, can they beat us? And I don't think they will, because they're in relegation form. This is probably a game for Sheffield to get their season back up and running. Are they going to do that? No. For Man United, obviously, they're still playing with the back three. Obviously, they like to keep that shape, but they can easily be broken down once you sort of get in between the lines and push them out wide. Obviously, they play with the full-backs high up the pitch as well, so they're always running down up and down the right and left flank as well, so they're always going to be doing their job on the right and the left flank. But again, for us, we need to have that quick and bright start to that game. If we sort of take control in that game, and obviously, you know, in any game that you play in, it's always crucial to get the first goal. If we get the first goal, find our confidence, our momentum, our rhythm, the more we put the pressure onto them, they'll feel it, and it could be a cricket score for them if they don't focus. And for us, if we can go there, take control of that game from the get-go, and we need to get on the front foot from the get-go, play with high intensity, high tempo, play with energy, play with intent, get in between the lines, you know, and get Wan-Bissaka get Wan-Bissaka as a sort of a right wing back up and down that flank. And you know, we just need to put in some low and hard crosses into the box, and we need the creativity in the midfield. I'd like to see Donny van der Beek start this game as well, and obviously Pogba, the whole Pogba thing as well, and that I could do another video on that as well. But at the end of the day, I would like to see Donny van der Beek start this game. We need the quality in the midfield. We need the creativity in the midfield. We need everything out the final third. We need to put crosses into the box as well. And they don't like it when you put crosses into the box, because they start panicking and they don't know what to do, and they're sort of a little bit out of shape, and you know, they're so disjointed as a team at the minute, and they're not playing as a unit. They're not compact how they used to be, and they're not compact how they used to be from last season. They're suffering from second syndrome season, and I'm sure we're going to go away to Bramall Lane, and Sheffield is suffering because there's no fans. If there was fans in the stadium, the fans would get behind them and they'll probably have a chance of winning this game. But with fans not there, they'll struggle. And United have just got to take the chances and get in between the lines, playing for high intensity, high tempo, get in between the lines, be ruthless from the get-go, get on the front foot, have a good start. And if we sort of get the first goal in the first 15-20 minutes, we could smash these up 3-4-0, and we could get our goal difference up, and it'll get our confidence back ahead of a good game against Leeds. So if we keep up our momentum and sort of build a little bit of our confidence in this game and get a result, I'll be confident going into that Leeds United game, full of confidence, and let's go and get the win there. So it's important we sort of get the mood back a little bit. It'll be important to get the winning mentality back as well. So we just need to be physically, mentally ready for this one. We just need the creativity in the midfield. The only thing I'm worried about is the creativity in the midfield. If we have the creativity in the midfield, we will have too much quality for them, and they will not be able to deal with us. Honestly, they will not be able to deal with us because of the quality in the midfield that we've got. And I'd like to see Donny van der Beek start this game as well. Getting into the stats now. Possession for Man United, it was 46.2%, and for Man City, it was 53.8%. Goals for Man United, it was 0, and for Man City, it was 0. Total shots for Man United, it was 11, and for Man City, it was 9. Total shots for Man United, it was 2, and for Man City, it was 2. Shot accuracy for Man United, it was 18.2%, and for Man City, it was 22.2%. Shots inside the box for Man United, it was 7, and for Man City, it was 6. Shots outside the box for Man United, it was 4, and for Man City, it was 3. Total passes for Man United, it was 502 passes, and for Man City, it was 579 passes. The pass accuracy for Man United, it was 85.1%. For Man City, it was 86.7%. Getting into the substitutions now, Greenwood went off for Martial. I'll talk about Greenwood's performance. Ipahiro for most of the first half, and naive at times when he did get the ball, never got going in the second, and got lucky to stay on for so long. Next up, we've got Sheffield. Sheffield 20th in the table, obviously rock bottom in the relegation zone. They're suffering with second syndrome season. United to keep our away form on top. Sheffield think they're low on confidence, this team. I think this is not a tough place to go now because there's no fans for them. Chris Wilder doesn't know his best 11. He doesn't know his best formation to go with, so that's why he's changing it week in and week out. He's exploiting with different formations. He's exploiting with different players as well to play week in and week out. This team is rock bottom. They don't have a clue what they're doing. They're low on confidence. They've not been scoring many goals. They're in relegation form, and I'm expecting United to absolutely steamroll this team, and we need to give them a good hiding. I think this is a game for Man United to send a message out there and say, to get in the mix of a title race, we're fucking coming for it. So this is a game, a good cricket scoring in this game. 4 or 5-0 on this team. I'm sure Chris Wilder will be out of the door. Obviously, we just need to be physically and mentally ready on the day, get the right tactics, get the right game plan. Like I said, create the chances. We need the quality and the creativity in the midfield. Blowing hard crosses into the box, get everything out the final third. Take your chances, score on your chances. Defensively, we need to be a unit at the back. Keep it tight, don't make any mistakes. Going forwards, swift, bang. We need high intensity, high tempo. We need the fluidity in the team and put our chances to bed. Let's not fuck this one up. We've got a chance to sort of send a message out there against this Sheffield side. I'm expecting a Man United win in this one. So far, Sheffield are scoring 0.4 goals per game, and so far they're conceding 1.8 goals per game. They're nearly conceding 2 goals per game. Sheffield United have the 4th worst defence in the league. Sheffield United have 1-0, drawn 1 and lost 11 games. They've lost it Wolves 2-0, Villa 1-0, Leeds United 1-0, Arsenal 2-1, Liverpool 2-1, Man City 1-0, Chelsea 4-1, West Ham 1-0, West Brom 1-0, Leicester 2-1, Southampton 3-0. This team is on low on confidence at the minute. This season, Sheffield United are suffering with second season syndrome, and they are in relegation form. And obviously with a 1 draw they got against Fulham as well. Sheffield have not won a game in 12 games. The last time Man United beat Sheffield was on Thursday the 25th of June 2020, and it ended 3-0 to Man United. The last time Man United lost to Sheffield United was on Saturday the 15th of August 1992, and it ended 2-1 to Sheffield United. The players to look out for is Baldock, Stevens, Basham, Egan, Jagielka, Robinson, Ampadu, Fleck, Lundstrom, Burge, Norwood, Osborne, McBurney, Sharp, Mossett, McGoldrick and Brewster. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the video in the next couple of days, and peace.